Hello. I'm going to be making indie video games down the road, and I've heard and also seen for myself that it's good to make videos that you could post on YouTube to share your progress as a sort of form of outreach or spreading the word about your game. Um, Even if it's long before you have something that you're particularly proud to show off, apparently it's important to get the quote unquote marketing started early. So that's kind of what I'm going to be trying to do here. I'm using a library called SDL2, which is hardly a game engine at all. I'm not sure if it can even be called that. It gives you this interactive window, which can tell you like where your mouse is in the window, like XY coordinates of where your mouse is. If you left or right click, if you press a key on the keyboard, it can draw images to the window. It can work with audio. It can resize. As far as I know, that's about it. There might be more stuff that I haven't worked with yet. That's the basics, and I think that's a lot less than like proper game engines give you, like Unreal or Unity or Godot. There's a lot of discussion online saying if you're gonna make a game, don't start from scratch. Don't make your own engine. Sure, make your own engine if you want to learn how engines work. But if your goal is to make a game, there are already good game engines out there made by large teams of professionals. And I am not a large team. I'm one guy and quasi-professional. I don't know. So yeah, but I like doing things my way, and I really wanted to learn C, which is the language SDL2 uses. And it's also similar to Pygame, which was my first gaming library, so it had familiarity. So yeah, that's how I ended up doing this. And yeah, this is my start menu. I'm using dummy assets that I made real quick in a browser-based version of Microsoft Paint. It's really just to make sure that my code works. Yeah, start menus, like title screen menus, have more than just a start button, but I don't have any like options menu or like functionality yet, so I just have this placeholder for like other things that will be in the start menu. All it does is like print some text to the terminal, and then the start button opens the game. I'm going to be making 2D RPGs, so this kind of perspective. And the first feature I did was, well, I noticed in Pokemon and Zelda and the like, when you're far away from the edges of the map and you move your character around, you actually move everything else. Like, let's say I move to the left, I actually just move everything else to the right until I get close to the edge of the map, and then that's when I actually move the character like with respect to the window. But otherwise, I move everything else with respect to the window, and I keep my character in the center. Yeah, so that was like feature number one. And of course, like, you don't just like want a static image of your character gliding around the screen, so you have a sprite sheet with multiple like postures to give this walking animation. It's all really basic stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that you have to do from scratch with SDL2 that you know, other engines might help you do faster than I was able to accomplish it. I spent a lot of time just implementing this basic stuff. More time than I want to admit, because it would be a win for the people who say not to make games this way, but anyway. Yeah, and then I have these obstacles that I can't walk through. But also I make sure that like I can overlap with them a little bit. Like I can actually walk through them just a little bit to make it look like I can walk up close to the front of these buildings and like go behind them as well. Like when you have an obstacle that you don't want to walk through, the simple way is like, well, don't let my sprite for my character overlap with the sprite of this obstacle. But then what that would look like is like this. This is where I would get stuck. I wouldn't be able to walk up from here, or like maybe like this, because yeah, then my sprites would start overlapping. But this looks more natural. Like, of course, when my stickman has a transparent background, it will look even more natural. But yeah, so like there's a draw order. Like I'm drawing the background with the roads, and then drawing this building and then drawing my character. But if I'm behind the building, if like my Y position is higher than the building, then I actually draw my character first, the background, then my character, then... Anyway, I'm not explaining it super well, but there's like a bunch of details to think about when you don't really have an engine. To be fair, I don't know what the proper engines give you, so maybe, you know, there's stuff that you also have to do from scratch in there too. I'm not an expert. Yeah, I also have like map transitions, like if I need to go into a room in the building, suddenly I delete everything I had before, and you know, now I'm in a new map, draw this new image. And also, like, the player should appear in a different place in the window, because you want to keep things like close to the entrance of your room. So like right now, with respect to the window, the character's in the middle, but like when I go into this map, I go from the middle to like more close to the right side, because that's where the building is with respect to the window. Again, not sure if I'm explaining that super well, but just like to give a flavor for the details that you have to keep in mind for just setting up all your basic features to get ready for finally making the actual game. And I have like code for menus, an inventory, and it'll open a prompt. I can use it. It doesn't do anything but print text to the terminal yet, but like at least it's not in the inventory anymore after it's been used, because I only had one. If I have more than one, like this particular entry has 3, I think, so when I use it, it's still there, so on and so forth. Yeah, there's still more basics to implement. The next thing I'm going to do is start rendering text to the screen. But yeah, I thought I would make a video showing off all that stuff, and if you watched all of this, thank you very much. Yeah.